I'll start off by saying, excuse my voice, I've been congested for days, and being up, going out at night, in the middle of the morning, middle of the night, plowing, it just, it hasn't helped at all, but no big deal. Got to work through it. That's part of the business. That's what you do. We were expecting, well, they were calling for 4 to 8 inches of snow last night. Never happened. Woke up, there was about 1.5 inches to 2 inches in most places. So I didn't have to go plow everything, but we've had some really strong winds, 20, 30 mile an hour winds, and it's just picking up the snow from everywhere and blowing it around, especially my properties that are down on the lake, which is, this is one of them. Pretty much most of them you'll see in this video, you know, those are those properties, but they've created lots of drifts, so I've had to go around this morning and clean up some drifts that have kind of kept people from being able to get in or out of their driveway. So that's what I'm doing here. This one you've seen me plow before. It's a big property, but I usually only do this front half of the driveway from the road up to the garage right here like you've seen before, but they do have a couple more houses back here. One is a cottage that sits all the way back, way down on the lake, way further back than what I'm going right here, but nobody lives there in the wintertime. Their son, the people that own the front house, their son lives in this house right here to the right, and I don't usually plow this. He parks up front excuse me, and walks back, but every once in a while they have you know, they have the propane truck come in to fill their propane tank back at this house, so if he even sees a little bit of snow, he won't even drive through it for whatever reason. But you know, the truck's pretty heavy, it can go through a decent amount, but there wasn't very much back here. But anyway, so when that time comes, I clear this out for them too, and just so the truck can get back here. But it goes downhill to where you just saw me pushing up, and then this is straight across, and you'll see after I make this last pass I'll turn around and I'll go back up the hill a little bit. I don't know how much you can tell, but they're calling for extreme temperatures over the next 3 days in my area. With the, it's supposed to be in single digits. See, this is me going up the hill a little bit right here, but it's supposed to be single digits, and with the wind chill, they're talking -31 to -35. That's below zero, and they're saying less than 10 minutes outside you could get frostbite. So a lot of the schools have already closed down their area. They don't want the kids out and in any of that stuff. But I will, from what I'm seeing, I'm probably going to be out plowing. Who knows though? Like I said, they mentioned we were supposed to get 4 to 8 last night, and we didn't get it. No big surprise when I went out plowing the other night. In the video I put up the other day, we weren't supposed to get any snow. We end up getting like 4 inches overnight. So not that the weatherman's ever right, that's what you deal with in this business, but the forecast they're showing over the next 2 to 3 days is supposed to be extreme winds, extreme cold temperature, and they're calling for over 2 foot of snow in a lot of areas. You guys have seen me plow this one many times. This one always drifts. It doesn't matter what side I wind roll it to. The wind will blow from one way, and then it'll, and you know, a little while later, it'll switch and blow to the other way. That's Lake Ontario right in front of me there. So this one's always got to be replowed to keep the drifts at bay so people get in and out. But anyway, my area, they weren't calling for any snow over the next couple days. A lot of this storm was supposed to miss us, that's going to be pushing through, but just south of me in Buffalo area, they're supposed to get upwards of 2 foot of snow. So we'll see what happens. They just recently changed it within the last hour. I've gotten alerts on my phone saying intense snow, intense cold, and intense winds, all to hit my area over the next 48 hours. So maybe it will, but you know, Buffalo's the largest city, so any of my weather apps that I use the Weather Channel app and I use the AccuWeather app, and I just kind of, you know, compare the two and try to find a happy medium. But you know, usually they're both wrong anyway, and I've tried a million different apps over the years, and you know, they're all wrong and they're all right at different times. It just, you never know. But so they're calling for that in this area, and the biggest city near me is Buffalo, and usually everything runs off of that. So when they give the forecast, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to get it. It just means Buffalo area is going to get it, which with lake effect snow bands, you know, it could hammer down, drop 2-3 inches an hour for 24 hours, and 5 miles outside of that band there might not be a flake of snow coming down. So you just never know.
Perfect.
Many times before, you guys have seen me plow this driveway. This is just one that, because the escarpment, it's called, drops right off that edge where you can see just past those trees. It drops straight down, and then below that is the village that I live in. My house is actually right down on the other side of that, and because of different air pressures and the way the moisture and the cold comes off of the lake or across the lake that is straight ahead from that in the lower Niagara River, it comes, you know, towards where I'm at right now. But then behind me, like where I came in down this driveway, in that direction would be south, and that is like Niagara Falls, Buffalo area. So you get that cold air pressure coming from Lake Erie, and they meet up right here at this escarpment. So everything coming off of Lake Ontario, where I showed you, over on the other side of the escarpment, all that cold air pressure comes down from Canada, and then everything from the south, like the other way, comes this direction. I know it sounds confusing, but so they all just kind of meet right here at this escarpment. So a lot of times you will get, you know, a lot of different directions of wind here blowing, and it creates a lot of drifts in this area, and just everything goes in different directions. It's a real pain in the butt doing leaves here. I've been mowing and plowing this driveway for, I believe, like 6 years or so, and you know, when it comes time to do leaves, this property can be a real pain in the butt. It's great because I can dump leaves anywhere I want in the woods all the way around the property. The thing is blowing them to certain areas to do what you got to do, because it comes up one way on one side of the house, then you get over the other side of the house and it comes the other direction, and then it blows crossways in front of the house or behind the house. It just, it's a bad mix for fall cleanup and a bad mix for snow plowing. So all the way around, but they're great customers and they pay really well, and it's a nice property. There's nothing really too hard about it other than that stuff, but just things you deal with. this is just a long driveway here on one of my properties I've been mowing and plowing for years as well, but he gets a lot of drifting, but it's mostly because it's just open. Right across the street from this house behind me is the Lower Niagara River, and he gets that air channeling and tunneling up through there, and it comes across. So he actually gets some drifting that comes from across the street at those people's house, and it drifts across the road, but he gets it sideways here because of his big open front yard. It comes from both sides. And you guys might be wondering why I don't plow in front of the garage right there, and you see me plow this one in the last few videos a couple times. I did plow it last year and the year before, and he's having some issues. This past summer he had the whole thing, all new concrete done, and he's having issues where it's already brittle and it's breaking apart and falling apart. So he's in contact with the company to come back and fix it, but he doesn't want me running a plow across it because he doesn't want them to say it's because of me plowing it. He wants them to see what's really going on, and so that he can get it fixed without them trying to swindle him and say, oh, it wasn't from us, it was from your plow guy, which obviously we know it wasn't. So he wants to make sure that there's no other damage done or that they can't say anything. But thanks for watching, guys. As always, I've been getting a lot of questions about how do I figure out how to fabricate all this stuff, and how do I do it as a solo guy. One saying I've always lived by, that I apply to everything in my life, and this is just how I do it, is, in my mind, if you want anything bad enough, you'll get it and you can make it happen. Everything else is just an excuse.